I feel like AI is one of those topics that like everybody is talking about, but nobody really knows like what it actually means or what it's actually going to look like.
Yeah. It's like one of those trendy words right now that everybody's throwing around.
Exactly. And we have a whole stack of really like articles and reports here that we've been digging through.
Oh, yeah.
And it is a lot to cover.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and, hit the highlights for you and like really just, try and figure out what this is all about.
Yeah, we got to break it down for you guys.
Exactly.
Because it's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, and we're talking about like the tech giants are throwing so much money at this. We're talking about governments are starting to like
Get involved.
get involved.
Yeah.
And we're even going to talk about like what Meta is trying to do by like strapping AI to our bodies.
Oh, yeah. Some crazy stuff.
Yeah, wild stuff. So yeah, so buckle up.
Yeah.
Get ready for the ride.
Buckle up.
It's going to be a wild one. So let's start with like the biggest thing that kind of jumps out from all this research that we did, which is just the amount of money that's being like poured into AI right now.
Yeah, that's insane. Like
Okay.
$320 billion by 2025.
The 320 billion with a B.
Billion!
Yeah, that is like, I don't even know what to compare that to.
I know.
Like that's
It's hard to fathom that much money.
That's like enough to buy like everyone in pick a state.
Yeah.
Everyone in a state, like a lifetime supply of avocado toast.
Yeah, with like diamond sprinkles on top.
Like the most extra avocado toast you can imagine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Like, and it's not just like, small companies or like, the startups that are investing. It's like the big names, like, your Googles, your Amazons, your Microsofts.
The ones you know?
The ones you know.
Yeah.
They're all fighting for a piece of this AI pie.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of what makes this so interesting is that it's like these companies that are already like so massive are like betting so big on this.
Yeah, they're betting the house, basically. Like, they're like, this is the future, and we're going to, like, own it.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like the scary part is that it's like if they do own it, like what does that mean for, everybody else?
Yeah, what does that mean for, like, the average person,
Right.
using the internet or just, like, living in the world?
Yeah.
Like, what does that future look like?
Yeah, and we'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think that's like one of the main takeaways is like the amount of money that's being thrown at this is just insane.
Yeah, and I think that kind of leads into the next point, which is like, what are they actually spending this money on? Like, what are they doing with all of this?
Yeah.
These billions of dollars.
Right, like it can't just be about, making our phones like slightly better at, predicting typos or whatever. Like there's got to be something bigger going on.
Right.
And, from what we've seen in these reports, like one of the areas that's getting a lot of investment is healthcare. Like, think about it. Like, algorithms that can diagnose diseases way earlier than humans can.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of scary, but also kind of amazing.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword for sure.
Yeah.
But it's like, personalized treatment plans.
Right.
Like, based on your specific, genetics and everything. Like,
Wow.
and even developing new drugs.
So, like, AI is going to be like our doctor in the future.
I mean, it's possible.
That's wild.
It's possible, but yeah, it's like, it's definitely going to play a huge role in healthcare.
Okay, so we've got big tech, we've got healthcare, and then the other thing that we saw a lot of was like governments getting involved.
Oh, yeah. Governments love to get their hands on new technology.
Right, they're like, we got to regulate this, we got to like
Control it.
control it.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because we see kind of like two different sides of it. Like, you mentioned like regulating it, but then also like governments are investing in it too.
Oh, yeah. They're investing a ton of money in AI research.
Yeah, so it's like they're trying to like
stay ahead of the curve.
stay ahead of the curve,
Yeah.
but also like make sure that it doesn't, turn into some kind of like dystopian nightmare.
Like a Terminator
Yeah,
situation.
exactly.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
Yeah, we don't want Skynet taking over.
Yeah. So it's like, one of the examples that we saw in the reports was like some countries are using AI to like streamline their tax systems.
Oh yeah, make taxes fun.
Make taxes fun. Exactly.
Said no one ever.
Yeah. But like imagine like AI that can automatically detect and prevent fraud.
Okay,
Like that would be pretty helpful.
that would be pretty great.
Yeah. And, make the whole process more efficient and, hopefully less painful for everybody involved.
Less painful taxes. I mean, I'm all for that.
Yeah, who wouldn't be?
Sign me up.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the government angle of it. And then the other thing that I wanted to talk about was this whole like AI summit in Paris.
Oh, yeah. This is interesting.
Because it's like world leaders, CEOs, all these like fancy people going to Paris to talk about AI.
I wonder what they eat there.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
are they just eating like croissants and like drinking wine all day?
Right.
Talking about like the future of humanity?
Sounds like a pretty good gig.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit jealous,
Yeah.
but it seems like the main focus of this summit is to figure out how to regulate AI.
Yeah, like on a global scale.
Yeah, like how do we make sure that, all these different countries are kind of like on the same page
Yeah.
when it comes to AI.
Because it's like AI doesn't really care about borders.
Right.
It's like
It's
it's going to affect everybody.
yeah, and from what we're hearing, it sounds like there's a push towards like lighter regulation,
Yeah, like less rules,
less rules,
more freedom.
more freedom for AI to like roam the streets of Paris.
Exactly. Let's just hope it doesn't get out of control.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, like there are some people who are like really concerned about this. Like they're like,
Yeah,
if we don't have like proper oversight, we could see like some really bad things happen.
like what kind of bad thing?
Like, algorithmic bias, like where
Yeah.
AI is like discriminating against certain groups of people,
Right.
or like data privacy violations.
Okay. Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, like where our data is being used in ways that we don't know about or consent to.
So it's kind of like a trade-off, right? Like
Yeah.
lighter regulation could lead to like faster innovation,
Right.
but it could also lead to like unintended consequences.
Exactly.
So it's like finding that balance.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah, so that's like the global regulation side of things. And then the last thing that I wanted to touch on was like the thing that I think everybody's kind of like most excited about or maybe like creeped out by,
Yeah.
which is Meta's new wearables.
Oh,
They're coming out with like 6 new devices,
Yeah.
all powered by AI.
All powered by AI in 2025.
In 2025.
This is going to be wild.
Yeah, so we're talking about like glasses that can translate languages,
Oh, yeah.
watches that can monitor your health. I mean, they're even talking about like shoes that can like track your steps and like give you personalized fitness advice.
That's crazy.
Like, I don't know if I need my shoes talking to me.
Yeah. I don't know if I need that either,
Right?
but
Maybe some people might.
I mean, it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, it's very futuristic.
Yeah. It's like straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It's very Black Mirror-esque.
Yeah, for sure.
But it does raise some questions about like, how much we're willing to let AI into our lives.
Yeah, like how much do we want AI to know about us?
Yeah.
Like, do we want it to know, like, how many steps we take every day?
Yeah.
What our heart rate is? Like,
Yeah.
what we're looking at?
Yeah.
It's kind of creepy when you think about it.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit invasive.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of like the big question that we're left with is like, as AI becomes more and more integrated into everything we do,
Mm-hmm.
how do we make sure that it's being used like ethically and responsibly?
Yeah.
And that it's actually benefiting humanity?
Right. Like, is it actually making our lives better?
Yeah.
Or is it just, making a few companies a lot of money?
Yeah, that's the big question.
That's the question we all need to be thinking about.
Yeah. So that's our deep dive on AI. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take in.
It is.
I know my head is spinning,
Mine too.
but it's definitely like a topic that we need to be paying attention to
Yeah, for sure.
because it's not going away anytime soon.
It's only going to get bigger.
So thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
Bye.